You've seen the graph. A small amount of money slowly turning into a massive fortune. At first, it barely moves. Then suddenly it takes off. Every finance video shows this. And the message is always the same. Start early. Stay consistent. Let compounding do the work. But here's the question nobody asks. If compounding is so powerful, why do so many people invest for years and still feel like nothing is happening? They didn't quit. They stayed consistent. They did everything right. So why doesn't it work? Here's the truth. Compounding has a minimum. There is a point where it actually starts to matter. And most people are below it. When your investment is small, the returns are small. So small you barely notice them. You invest. You wait. You check your account and nothing feels different. That's where frustration begins. You start questioning yourself. Am I doing this wrong? Did I start too late? Should I try something else? But the problem isn't you. The problem is scale. In the beginning, you are doing all the work. Your income, your savings, your discipline. That's what drives progress. The investment? It's barely helping yet. And this is the part nobody talks about. The beginning is slow. It is slow. It doesn't feel exciting. It doesn't feel rewarding. It feels pointless. And that's exactly why most people quit. Not because they are lazy, but because the results don't match the effort. Think about it like this. You're building a runway. At first, you're just laying concrete, piece by piece. Day after day, nothing is taking off. Nothing looks impressive. But without that runway, nothing ever will. Compounding is like a plane. It doesn't take off at the start. It takes off at the end. Only after enough foundation is built. So how do you get there? First, focus on increasing your income. Because early on, income matters more than returns. A small increase in earnings has a bigger impact than small investment gains. You can't rely on compounding alone. You have to build the base first. Second, protect your savings. Because one setback can wipe out months or years of progress. Unexpected expenses, emergencies, income loss. These don't just slow you down. They reset everything. And every reset pushes compounding further away. Third, measure the right thing. Don't focus on growth curves. Focus on progress. Track how much you've saved. Track your net worth. Track your consistency. Because in the early stage, progress is the real win, not explosive growth. And here's the mindset shift. Compounding is not magic. It doesn't instantly turn small money into big money. It rewards scale. The bigger your base, the faster it works. The smaller your base, the harder it is to notice. That doesn't mean it's useless. It just means you're still in the building phase. And that phase is everything. Because once you cross that invisible line, everything changes. Your money starts working with you. Growth becomes visible. Momentum builds. And suddenly, it all makes sense. But until then, you have to keep building. Not blindly. Not hoping for magic. But understanding exactly where you are. Because once you understand this, you stop feeling stuck. And start moving forward with clarity. That's the difference. Not just knowing compounding works, but knowing when it starts to work.